In continuing to take a look at the depths of Michael Jackson's fame and artistry and the level that he reached, which is a level that was never before seen and will never be seen again. Next up on our list is a deeper look into the black or white video. The premiere of the black or white short film, we should say, because that is how Michael referred to his cultural work as. The premiere of the black or white short film was a cultural phenomenon. Now let's take a minute to set the scene. Michael's previous studio album was, of course, Bad, which had come out in the end of 1987. Michael wrapped up the Bad concert tour at the beginning of 1989. So by the time the end of 1991 rolled around, there had been a Michael Jackson drought. Like, you hadn't really seen or heard much from Michael in those almost 3 years since. And then eventually it started getting out that Michael was going to be releasing a new album, which of course was Dangerous. And that the first single was going to be Black or White, and it was going to be this huge, spectacular premiere event. And we're actually going to show you one of the commercials that aired during that time, so you can take a look.
Redefined music video. Now on the spectacular that has the world talking, he's done it again. Most astonishing special effects that have ever brought music to life. 7:30 Monday, Molly Meldrum presents a 9 exclusive, Dangerous. Australia's first full screening of Michael Jackson's new mega video, Black or White, plus the history, the controversy, the sensation that is Michael Jackson. Dangerous, a 9 exclusive, 7:30 Monday.
The short film for Black or White had a simultaneous world premiere on platforms like MTV, VH1, and BET. Now, keep in mind, this is the early 1990s. There is no social media. There's no YouTube, Instagram, etc., etc. There's no logging in to see who released the latest video. This is the era of live television, cable television. So if you wanted to see something as it premiered, you had to actually be at your house watching the event on television. So this is what it came down to with Black or White. And we're going to go into these numbers shortly, but before we do, let's show you a couple of clips of Black or White as it was premiering on MTV and BET.
Time for the MTV world premiere of Michael Jackson's Black or White. Featured in the video are Macaulay Culkin, Bart Simpson, and the guitar work is provided by Slash from Guns N' Roses. So get on up! Here it is, the world premiere of Michael Jackson, Black or White.
We want to show you what you've all been waiting for, the 11-minute short film, Black or White. Now, this film was directed by John Landis, who also directed the 1983 smash, Thriller. Well, appearing in the film are Macaulay Culkin of Home Alone, George Wendt from Cheers, Bart Simpson, got a couple of Bebe's Kids in there from Another Bad Creation. And here it is now, the BET premiere of Michael Jackson's Black or White.
And the hype definitely surpassed what people were expecting. Now, if you don't already know these numbers, the premiere for Black or White was the highest ever for a music video in Nielsen history. And that number was 500 million people. So if you break it down a little bit further, first of all, the 500 million people in itself is just crazy. But when you break that number down, that means 1 out of every 11 people on the planet were watching the Black or White short film at the same time when it premiered. Those numbers are crazy. But aside from that, because this was a Michael Jackson project, it was iconic, legendary, something that had never been seen before, and it literally broke cultural ground. The concept was ahead of its time, the choreography was ahead of its time, the visuals were ahead of its time. And speaking of those visuals, Black or White is recognized as the first major entertainment project to incorporate photorealistic face morphing on a major scale. So at the end of the short film, when you're seeing all of those faces morphing together, that was the first time that had ever been done on that level. And you can see the company behind me talking a little bit about this, but we've also got a small behind the scenes video. So take a look.
Known as morphing, and that's short for transformation or metamorphosing. We'll select the eyes and the mouth and the nose, and then we let the computer run the transformation. It can take 4 or 5 hours just to run the frames for a second of transformation.
That's right. And of course, there was the legendary Panther Dance, which was deemed controversial by certain networks and, certain countries and yada, yada, yada. It seems kind of crazy looking back, as far as what was deemed acceptable or deemed appropriate or inappropriate as far as what was being allowed and accepted just a few short years after that. But nonetheless, the Panther Dance was an expression, an artistic expression from Michael, expressing a lot of different emotions, including frustration. Frustration over inequality, frustration over justice, frustration over police brutality. If you are not familiar with the story of Rodney King, you'll want to look that up and familiarize yourself with that, because that is an event that happened the same year that the black or white short film came out. So it was it was honestly one of Michael's best solo dance pieces. It's one of the best solo dance pieces in history, and we're going to show you a clip of it as well as a behind the scenes clip so you can take a look. And as with all things Michael Jackson, the legacy of Black or White, both the song and the short film, has and continues to transcend the test of time. An example of this would be this video clip that we're about to show you of a young creator, Miles Bonham, and his friend LJ doing their own rendition of the song. So take a look.
Saturday things. Oh, would you were one the same? Now I make miracles, and a miracle is happening tonight. But it's just a good baby. It don't matter if it's black or white.
We'll be doing some more artistic dives into the legacy and artistry of Michael Jackson. But in the meantime, thanks for tuning in, and remember, facts don't lie, but people do.